Okay, so here's the description of the Swansea.com stadium for any supporters who are visually impaired and want to get a sense of what the ground looks like, but also, of course, just for those of you who are on audio commentaries and want to get a picture of what the ground's like. So here we are. It's a lovely stadium. That's really attractive, nice and compact, but big, if you get my drift. It's another of these new stadia. It's a bowl, so it's all filled in. Yeah, the corners are all filled in. It's all of one piece, and it's all the same height all the way around. So opposite me, I'm on the side of the pitch, you have a large stand. Most of the seats are black, but picked out in white lettering. There's two tiers. The top tier is the bigger tier, and it has picked out in white lettering in the seats Swansea. And then the bottom tier has picked out in white seats Abertawe, which is Welsh for Swansea. So like I said, the bottom tier has got about 10 rows of seats across the width of the pitch. And then the top tier looks like it's got more like 20 rows of seats. It's a substantial size stand. It's got safe standing on the left-hand side of it, going around the corner to the section behind the goal. The roof's at quite a sort of acute angle. It sort of really prods up into the air. And there's quite a nice, interesting appearance. I mean, you see these see-through roofs, like at Leicester. But what they've done here is the stand opposite. On the left-hand side, there's a couple of see-through panels, and then it's metal. And then as it goes across, the see-through panels, there's more of them. So there's 3, and then there's 4 are going across to the right-hand side when those see-through panels go halfway down the roof. Then that continues around the corner. So the corner, like I said, is all filled in because it's all built of one piece. There's a big scoreboard suspended from the roof in the corner, showing the team badges and the score and time. And then that roof continues around, and those transparent tiles remain halfway down. So it's the top end of it is transparent, the bottom end is opaque and metal. There is a section all the way around both those stands behind the seats. I don't know whether that's for cameras, perhaps, because it sort of corresponds to the gantry I'm standing on, which I'll get to in a moment. It doesn't look like it's, built for room to expand and put more executive boxes in. And then this stand behind the goal is very similar because it's got the front row, the 2 tiers, both of them the same size, except actually the top tier maybe slightly fewer rows because it's got a sort of concourse area which appears to be made for wheelchairs to go into. There's a gap in the corner between the 2 stands at ground level, obviously to bring sort of heavy plants and stuff, if that's the right word, onto the pitch. So at the moment they've got those lights that you put onto the pitch are stored in the corner there, ready to bring out again. The opposite end is exactly the same, even down to having the gaps in the corners. In fact, those gaps are in all 4 corners so that you can fit them in. And then it's identical to one on the other end, even down to the fact it's got swans picked out in white seats in the bottom tier, just like behind the other goal. So it is identical. There's a cute little design as well. The black seats for the top tier, no writing, but it's got the sort of semicircles dropping down, white semicircles, which I'm sure is part of their badge, but I can't quite picture how. And then the stand I'm on is the same as the one opposite. I'm on the actual gantry at the top level. Behind us, they do have executive boxes. There's a row of glass windows all the way across the stand. And then this stand is the same, except right beneath me is a press area. So there's desks going across, 16 desks in 2 rows of 8 each. They've got little holders on them to put monitors on so that when the men are playing and there's people in those seats, the reporters can follow the game. In front of that is the director's box, which is really nicely designed actually, because it's got like a front wall which is, well, I'm going to say fake marble. I'm going to take a punt. And in the middle of it is quite a nice sort of slate wall display with these small pieces of slate, rectangular pieces. In front of that is another like overspill press area. Hope I'm on the higher one when it comes to Wrexham's men's team playing here. And then right in front of the smaller front tier is the bench with the usual thing, those airline style seats. So there you have it. That's the Swansea.com stadium.